Hi guys, it's Stephanie. It's Wednesday, January 18th. Yes, it is. It's the first month of the year, and I don't want to think about how fast this year is going to go by. I want to take it one day at a time. I know that everybody has busy lives, and when we're busy, we fail to see how time goes by quickly. And when we're on the way to work or wherever we're going, we don't stop and smell the roses. I think we should stop and smell the roses, catch a sunset, stop and say hello to a stranger or something like that. In other words, slow down a little bit and take notice of the good things around us. So today I want to discuss what has been transpired with my decisions to possibly relocate back up north to New England, and my current situation as far as my thoughts are going. Also, what's happening with the contract sale agreement that I have on my home. So we'll have more when I return. Okay, so here we go. Anyways, as I mentioned in a couple of videos before, even though we have a sales contract agreement for the purchase of my home, we're still currently doing open houses with new prospect, just in the event that the current buyers who have a contract agreement, something happens that they don't go ahead with a sale for whatever reason on their end. I did speak with my realtor yesterday by text messaging, and he said that everything looks good with the buyers, that they were approved to move into this over 55 community of mobile homes. It's a very upscale mobile home community. Most of the homes here are in very good shape, even though a few of them suffered major damages during the hurricane we had. So, what are my thoughts on moving forward, and how am I planning to have a roof over my head before I'm ready to purchase? Okay, so financially, even though I have a decent down payment to purchase a home, I'm not going to purchase a home until August. I'm currently strengthening my credit scores, which are over 700. And I'm browsing through rental properties, either apartments or a single family home rental. For the cost for me to rent a one-bedroom apartment with a garage is about $2,400 a month. That's right. It's not that much more than renting an 800 square foot one bedroom. If I want an apartment that has an attached garage, it's going to be about $200 more. That means that just renting a one bedroom without a garage, because I don't plan on doing a 12-month rental or a 12-month lease, it's going to be more like a monthly. I told them that I'm looking only to stay here about 5 months. I know 5 months is not August, because I get to stay in this home here about 2 to 2.5 months. So at the end of my 2 to 2.5 months here, I would have to go into a rental only for 5 months or 5.5. I'm sorry, 5 months, because I'm going to be here 2 months out of those. So I do have an appointment to check out some apartments Thursday or Friday. At this community where I'm going to be looking this week was a place that I had moved into back in 2007 when I relocated back to Florida the second time. So I've been here since 2007, but I originally moved to Florida in 2001. So it's a decent place. It's a gated community. It would be a big switch for me, guys, to live in a regular home. I've had a few shakeups living here. Even when I lived here with my partner and roommate, we had a few close calls with hurricanes. And as you know, if you've been watching some of my posts on hurricane that we experienced last year, that was the worst one. But we've had other calls where we had to evacuate, and we didn't know whether we were going to find or have a home when we came back. The hurricane that we had before last year's was Hurricane Irene. On that hurricane, we had a level or category 5 hurricane with over 100-mile-an-hour winds, and they were predicting that we're going to get hit dead on. Well, we panicked. I rented the biggest U-Haul truck that they had, and I put all the belongings in that truck. This home was void of all property. All belongings were in that truck because I was afraid that if we left and kept everything in this home, that we were going to lose everything. And it would cost us thousands of dollars to replace everything we had. So I rented a truck, and we spent all day loading the truck with everything. It was almost as if we were selling the house and we were clearing out, but it was for a hurricane. Last year's hurricane, as you know, I didn't rent a truck, but I filled up my small little SUV, my Kia that I had, with most of my clothes, and everything else stayed. Okay, it stayed. It was a close one. And all these things I went through with hurricanes and being scared of not having a home to live or go to has prompted me to put this home in the market. It's just, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to ever live in a mobile home again. Okay. At the time, it was a great thing because it was affordable, and this home was willed to me by my partner and friend who I lived with for almost 10 years. I cared for him, and I'm grateful that at least I had a roof over my head where I can work and save money. But yeah, so Um, I'm hoping to have a place to live after I get my contract and my 2 or 2.5 months is up. As soon as my realtor gives me the go-ahead, I'll start packing all my personal items and detaching my widescreen off of this media room wall and possibly getting more boxes and all that stuff. In the meantime, what I am going to do is this weekend, starting Friday, is I'm going to go through all my rooms and throw away all unnecessary stuff that has accumulated through the years that I don't need or even think about. I don't want to have any mental attachments to things that is not useful for me. It's just taking up space. I have no choice but to get a 1 bedroom and or a garage because I don't want to park with everybody else who's parking in a parking lot space. I'm so used to having my car in my own driveway here in the covered carport that to me it was a little bit of assurance, even though it's not a garage. When I do rent a garage, it's only $200 more a month, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And as you know, guys, I don't earn a lot of money. I just about break $40,000 a year. $40,000 a year these days is not a lot of money when you're a single person and you're responsible for every expense that you need or use. You know, I don't have a cable TV. I got Wi-Fi. I've somewhat reduced my cost being here the past couple of months since I put the house in the market. As you know, also, I do have a car payment with my Mercedes, and it looks to me, even though the rental is going to be only temporary, most of my paycheck is going to go towards rent because it's so expensive, you know. And I'm looking very, very hard right now at the possibilities, and I'll be looking at multiple places and trying to find something that I can afford for the 5 or 6 months that I'll be renting. At my last month, by that time, I should connect with a realtor and a lender, and I'll have more confidence on moving forward into purchasing my own home. And I'm excited also because I want you guys to be part of it. I want you guys to see the process that I'm going to be going through. The only time I had ever bought a home on my own by myself was when I was married to my second ex, and we decided to go up north. And I applied for credit. I did the financing process, and we bought a home after we moved to Massachusetts for a year. After we bought a home, shortly thereafter, my ex filed for divorce, and I ended up living in that house by myself for about 2 or 3 months until I could sell it, which I ended up doing. Yeah. So yeah, I'm very excited about the change in living condition and bringing on more responsibility as far as the mortgage goes and upkeep for the new home that I want to get into. Yesterday, I did speak with a lender, and he looked at my credit and my finances, and we developed a plan and a roadmap which leads to August, where he thinks I'll be more able and more positively, without a question, get into a home by the end of August or September. It's a good plan. That plan is good because I'm not going to be struggling to make my monthly mortgage. It's going to be within my income. It's not going to be 100% of my monthly income, my net pay and stuff. And I'll be able to get into a home that I can afford, and I don't have to be tight with my money. I don't have to get a full-time job, a part-time job if I want to. If I don't want to, I can do it with just one income. So that also gives me the confidence to wait and to shoot for it. Yeah. But knowing me, before that time comes, I will have a part-time job, because rent that I'm about to take on is a lot of money. It's more than a mortgage these days. You guys know, if anybody's in my channel and you guys are paying rent, you don't have to disclose how much you're paying. You simply have to leave me a comment and give me a thumbs up and say, I agree, rent is expensive. It is expensive. For the most part, it's more expensive monthly to rent an apartment than to just have a mortgage from a home. Okay, so that said and done, what me and my lender also have done was we looked at what type of home that I can get into that will reduce my cost. He said that buying a standalone home in Florida is more costly because the insurance is more money. Okay, so we're talking about $3,000, about $4,000 a year just for insurance, and the taxes are even higher for a standalone single-family home. Okay, he thought, and I also agree, that if I buy a villa, 2-bedroom, 2-bath villa with a garage or a double garage, is going to be a lot less insurance-wise, and also a little less on taxes. Because when you buy a villa or a townhome, for example, you're paying an HOA. And then he said to me, on HOA costs, we don't want to go over this much amount, because that's going to be it's going to be calculated into my monthly mortgage, which is going to raise up my mortgage even more. So if my mortgage is $1,500 a month, I don't want a home that has an HOA of in excess of $200, because I'm going to go from a $1,500 a month mortgage to a $1,700 mortgage. I don't want to go to a $1,900 mortgage a month on top of the $600 with a $500 or $400 HOA. And also the insurance to insure my home is a lot cheaper with a villa or a townhome, because HOAs take care of the common grounds. They take care of a lot of stuff like sprinkler systems, or sometimes the roofing is calculated in the HOA, where I don't have to dish out money for it. So a lot of things are included in communities with HOA, like cable TV or whatever. Yeah. So that's the plan right now. I feel very, very confident about the path I'm taking, and the cash that I'm getting from the equity from this home is going to be put away in savings until August comes, where I'm looking for a home. And I got this down payment that's going to determine how much of a home I buy. So I'm excited to have my own place with a garage to keep my car in. I'm definitely going to work a part-time job, because I do want to buy a second vehicle, an everyday driver, so I don't keep hitting the miles in my Mercedes. You know, I don't want to spend the rest of my life just paying a mortgage and just to have a home. I want to be able to have money aside for my part-time job so I can do fun things, so I can travel, so I can go up and visit my family. Yeah, so that's the plan. If you ask me straight out whether I am going to go up to Massachusetts to live, I'm taking the time to think about it. But quite frankly and honestly, I'm looking at staying here. We don't have any state taxes in Florida. We don't pay excise tax on vehicles here. No excise tax. Okay. No state income tax. Okay. I don't pay an inspection sticker for my car. These are all added expenses. I would think that right now an inspection sticker is probably about $100 every year. Excise tax is a lot of money, especially on my Mercedes. I don't want to pay an excise tax. So these are the perks from living here in Florida. You know, the only thing that I see as an expense is probably going to be the use of my AC system, which we use 24/7 here. 24 hours around the clock, about maybe 10 months out of the year, we have the AC on. But that's like on an individual basis because I don't have to keep it on 65 degrees in this house. Right now, my home is always on 70 and 75. It's fine, it's comfortable. And I can live with that. We've been having a cold snap here the past few weeks in Florida. My AC hasn't gone on once. And the 2 months that you don't put your AC on, it's a savings for me. But if I lived up north for about 5 or 6 months, you're running the heating system. So that's the trade-off. Heating system versus AC system. It is what it is. And the other perk for staying in Florida, I don't have to do a job transfer. Okay? With my job I have right now, I have the best shift that works for me, and that's daytime shift. So I work from 6 to 3 p.m. and I'm gone, I'm home. It allows me to have an extra part-time job so I can have extra income. Otherwise, if I had a regular schedule like most people where I work, every other week, every other 3 weeks, I'd have a different schedule. And most part-time jobs can't schedule you around that. So me staying here and keeping my job and not transfer because I would have to relocate, it allows me to have a part-time job and live comfortable. I'm excited. I can't wait for that last day at my lease rental apartment that I'm reloading again for the second time this year to get into my own home. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be excited. The other thing I want to talk to you about, the more I talk with my brother and the more I talk with my mother, I find out that my parents will always defy me up until they're on their deathbed. They will not change. The same thing goes for my son and my brothers. I haven't spoken to my son about 2.5 years, and a couple days ago we spoke by text, and I was going to inform him that I had my home up for sale and that I could possibly be moving up north. My conversation was very pleasant. It was respectful. I told him that I'm possibly going to move up north. I got my house on the market and it's sold, and that we have a lot to catch up on and we have some discussions to have. And he replied back right away. He says that there's no discussion between us and that he was sorry but he's going to have to block me on the phone. This is the response I get from someone who I haven't spoken to, or vice versa, who has not spoken to me in 2.5 years. My 27-year-old son, who I never offended, who I never laid a hand on when he was a child. And up until he was 15 years old, he decided that he didn't want to spend time with me anymore. He didn't want me to pick him up and take him to Florida to spend time together on summer vacations from school. That's what we did for years and years and years after my divorce. I would fly all the way to New England, pick him up when he was a little kid, and he would come down to Florida for 3 months. And we would just have a great time together with my extended family before my divorce. So that's what it's down to, you know. So the more I think about how my family has been with me and how my son's been with me and how my brothers have been, it makes the possibilities of moving up north very slim. Even though I say many times that I'm not going there for them, I'm going for me, which is true. But even if I do go for me, I'm going to end up living by myself anyway and not having my family there, like most families are, is really not worth it for me, even if I go for me. When I go there, if I go there, I would make new friends, and I'd have friends who get along with their families, or I could possibly date somebody who gets along with their families, and that would be out like, hey, I don't have my family. What, I'm going to start dating someone, and they'll invite me to their family's house, and they're going to wonder why I don't do things with my family? That's not what I want. At least here, I don't have to open up and tell them the whole detail with my family. I can just say my family lives in New England. When I have time, I go there and visit, and I come back. This week, I did talk with my brother a couple of times, and we texted a couple of times, and it wasn't good. He was being disrespectful and very show-offy, condescending, and doesn't sound like someone who's looking forward for me possibly moving there. So this is why I say that every time I talk to my parents or my family or whatever, I get the feeling like it's a slim chance for me to decide to go up north. And I relay this to my manager at work, and he says, no problem. You know, then we're happy to keep you here. I must say, I have had more support from my subscribers on my YouTube channel and more support on my Facebook friends, and some distant family members who live in the Netherlands and also in other states. They have supported me hands down. They have showed me more respect and more support than my immediate family. And that's why I tell you that me moving up there doesn't look good. But I'm considering it, but I don't think it's going to happen. I had a long conversation with my mother yesterday, and I told her that I don't think I'm going to go up. And the main reason is that they have never supported me. They have never supported me. And this is the way things are. But they fail to see that. It's like when I talk, it goes in one ear and the other. It's like they have selective hearing. They only want to say what they want to say. But when I say something, to them it doesn't matter. They're not listening. So that's where I am, guys. So anyways, I think I've kept everything positive for the most part. I'm trying not to dwell on negative talk or negativity concerning what I'm doing with my family or whatnot. And the closer I get to my goals here on home ownership, I think the happier I'm going to be, and the more connected I'm going to feel, and I'll feel more secure when we have bad weather like hurricanes or anything. So that's it for now, guys. Please share and give me a thumbs up. I know there are people out there that are experiencing the same thing I have, that either in the past or present. I know I have some trans friends on here. If you guys don't mind leaving me a comment, give me a thumbs up and share, I would so much appreciate it. I hope that you guys also enjoy my short clips that I've done last week. Those are fun. It's a great addition to my channel, and you get to see me in the more silly me, because I do have a silly spirit and I like to have fun making funny faces or whatnot. You know, I'm not always serious. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great week. I'm going to take things one day at a time. If I have any developments during the weekend, I will post it. And talk to you guys very, very, very soon. Bye.